Ah, that is good news indeed. Ah, all dragons, definitely. All dragons do not fight. Some love diplomacy. Some love hugs.
It's just,
Brother Maynard, you are a well-traveled, seasoned individual, it seems.
again, it was just
I have
curious.
traveled from one side of the veil to another, my friend. Yes,
Dragon
I have
bugs.
seen a lot.
It is just curious, though. I mean, it is but only a few hours distance from here, between here and Talar. I would have thought that someone had heard of it.
I have not.
Can we have Vayne or somebody maybe? One of us could probably draw you a good map. Seeker's always caring about paper and such things.
I do. I have a right here.
I have a map of Brindle. If you're new to Brindle, I have a map of Brindle if you need one.
I believe we have one of those.
Fucking Brindle Chamber of Commerce is like own this shit, son.
Fucking love it, dude.
Right.
I know each establishment has their own logo on each map. It's you gotta catch them all. You gotta collect them all, man. You guys, that was awesome. I mean, seriously, that was all impromptu. I was like, how can we have fun with this? That was awesome. And in fact, there's no inspiration in D&D 5e, but you know what? I'm going to give you guys, in 4e, I'm going to give you guys an inspiration point.
All right.
Meaning this. That was awesome. That was fun. So anytime you guys want to re-roll, just tell me, hey, I want to use my inspiration, and you guys can use your inspiration, and you can thank the chat for that, because the chat are the ones who brought that up. So I think that's a great idea by the chat.
Yes.
So the chat loved that, man. They loved that, man.
I really have to recall that when I need it badly.
Yes. It's waiting for that death saving roll.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Any saving throw, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna write down inspiration. Everybody has one.
Brother Maynard, the sun was going down far before we ever walked over to this thing, so it should be pretty dark now, I'm thinking, maybe.
Yes, I would not want to keep him any longer, brother. I know you're
he
quite
seems
tired
exhausted.
after
Yes. I assume all of us are somewhat drained, to be honest.
Yes, this ritual takes a lot out of an individual. I will seek retirement to my chambers for the night, my fellows, my fellow brothers of Bahamut. I thank you for bringing this dastardly item to us and banishing this back to the plane of the elemental chaos. I am just exhausted thinking about this. I shall retire now.
Hey, good evening, brother.
Any
bows.
and he just kind of
good evening,
just
brother.
walks off. Good evening, my brothers. As he bows again. Good evening, brothers. For a second time. Good evening.
And I suppose we all exit the mausoleum. We're standing outside.
Yep.
And we'll look at Pryde and the others. Perhaps with this now complete and this burden lifted from us, we should test each of these taverns to find that which we have lost.
You mean Phael, I assume? Or Jixon? One of those?
Oh.
I mean, just... Good idea.
But fellows, listen, you know that Urson had some sort of sentimental value attached to this skull. Let's all get our stories straight. Urton was pissed drunk, and
exactly.
We talked him into letting us dispose of this item. So I mean, if it ever comes up,
it was
which it
his
will
idea.
probably. It was his idea, exactly.
He asked us to. Yeah.
Indeed. All right. Well, you already all know. What did I spout him off about? Okay, good.
That's exactly what
sent
happened.
us on this mission. Of course he did.
I doubt he'll even remember it tomorrow morning. He was
Right. He may
very
remember
ill.
the skull of his master, but yes, he talked us into this against our protestations. All right, good. Probably so. We're gonna make a circuit of the inns then? God, that will take all night. Have you seen this map they hand out? It's dotted and polka dotted here and hither and thither with inns and taverns galore.
As long as we spend no more than a single cup in each one, I do not think it shall take too long.
Oh my!
I can't drink that much tea.
well, you'll have to go through the lavatory a few times. You'll be all right.
I believe they call this a crawl of some sort.
Oh, you've got the bug, have you? You got the bug. I saw several tourists
Collect
holding
them all.
handfuls
Yeah,
of them.
there you
Yes.
It does
We're gonna
have
get
a
the full set, Vayne.
catch 'em all. Yeah, it's just catch 'em all. Yeah.
And he's also got pins all over his vest, right?
There you go.
Oh Jesus!
And
All
just
kinds
like
of Walmart pins. Yeah, little smiley face pins everywhere. Yeah.
I don't get the reference.
No,
Never
that's what
mind.
they do in Disneyland. They do pins, and everybody shares it. It's
Right.
a touristy thing. Collect pins.
90-year-old greeters at the door. Yeah.
Oh,
You need your sticker.
Pins.
You need your sticker.
Yeah, like a little Mickey Mouse, and
yeah. Like little emblem pens. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we'll start heading to these inns then, I guess.
We
Gotta
map
catch 'em
we map the best route, and we don't follow it.
Okay. So, you guys, I guess you would head over to a tavern, which is pretty close. You get directions from a couple of kids, a couple of the kids that were playing soccer. They point you over.
mister, there's a tavern.
Yeah, not
over
that
there.
kid though. No, not that kid.
Not that
he
asshole,
wasn't there.
alright.
Yeah, not that kid. But they point you over towards a tavern called Clefty's. And as you get to Clefty's, everybody give me a perception check really quick.
I don't even get the reference, but it sounds weird.
Well, Clefty's,
Yeah,
we were told about Clefty's by Jixon as well.
Yeah,
She told us
Clefty's
of two
is,
inns, the Blue
it's-
Parrot and Clefty's.
yeah, it's not the
Oh, yeah.
the best looking inn. So why don't you guys describe to me what Clefty's looks like?
I can't even see it, Dave.
it's
Is
not-
there an inn here? Boom, 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 boom.
It's not the most beautiful of inns.
Well,
So if
you
you
may
guys
not
want
be
to
able
give me a
to
little
see
bit
it.
of a description.
You may not be able to see it, Pryde, but you can definitely smell it. With all the guys in the alley and vomit and
I see, people puking on the outside.
Oh, yeah, it's
people
pretty
not,
nasty.
Not walking good, singing lewd, baldy songs, hanging all out the front door.
This is the place that the builders and the construction and
Exactly.
the low-end, hard-working, blue-collar men
People are
that just
still
want to
fucking
get
nasty
yeah.
from work and shit.
Yeah.
They've got soot on their face and dirt on their knees. Carpenters and all kinds of bullshit.
Yeah, and you guys notice, Vayne, you notice the beautiful black horse that was back in the Twisted Halls. You see this same horse here. Doesn't have a saddle on it, but the reins are attached to the post. It does recognize you, and it does kind of take a couple side steps away from you. It doesn't know if you're going to try to eat it or whatnot. It has seen orcs before, but it does kind of warm up to you after a couple of
He's a
seconds.
he's a
half
half.
Okay.
He's a
Yeah,
full
okay.
elf. I'm sorry.
All right. Yeah, my bad. I was thinking of Grat still. Yeah, it takes to you. It does. My bad.
Vayne, why are you stroking that horse?
can you tell one horse from another, Vayne?
They all look the same to me. Exactly, Pryde.
I turned to Pryde and put 2 little fingers behind each ear.
I catch it too and kind of nod.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, no, you're enamored with the horse. You're not paying attention.
I'm quite sure they are.
Whoa.
You can?
They
Wow.
all be different, but they're all pink on the inside, Vayne. You know that's all you care about.
Oh my god.
Oh, 200 yards you can take one? I'd have to see that to believe it. Well, shall we see the little ladies inside? Are you positive this is her horse? Or our horse? Or the horse? I can't believe we took a bath and are now going in this place, and we're going to have to wash all over again.
Yeah, as you guys are walking up steps, there's several patrons that are, passed out and in, chairs out on the, on the hooded porch. There's, all kinds of buckets of this frothy looking water with cigar butts type tobacco pipe weed all over it. This place smells horrible. You guys open up, and just as you're fixing to open up the door, you can hear this singing in unison. Yo ho yo! It sounds like, they're just having a good time in here. And you open up the door, and this place is actually pretty packed. There's probably about 20 to 25 horses outside that are tied up on all of the horse railings out here. So the Clefties is definitely hopping. It is definitely hopping. So as you guys stroll inside, there are a lot of unsavory looking people here. Lots of eye patches, lots of peg legs. Just your, you wouldn't see this type of, and I'm not saying because somebody has a peg leg or eye patch or nothing that they're unsavory, but, this is just, you can see all kinds of people that have been fighting. There's a couple people that are bloodied down on the ground. You can see there's one gentleman on the ground that has a dagger sticking out of the center of his chest. You can see that there's about 3 or 4 other corpses that are all battered up. Their faces battered up, blackened eyes. Teeth. You see several teeth on the floor, but it seems like they're all having a good time partying.
This reminds me of a bar that I was in about 15 years ago. Yes. Almost. Yeah. Maybe.
So this place is jumping. I'm sorry, I had to look at something real quick.
Yes. Yeah, there's about a half a dozen of them. Yeah, give me a perception check. We'll see if you see any types of pouches or anything.
Yep. Do any of these poor people have pouches?
Yeah, you can see as you're walking in, there's a couple of these rocking chairs, and over to your left, there is a sort of like a pouch kind of hanging off of the side. Doesn't look like there's a lot in it, but there's six there's like 6 people passed out on this side of the porch. So if you want to get over there to try to get it, you'll have to do a stealth check. And then I'm going to do a perception check with a little bit of a minus to it because they are kind of intoxicated.
Okay.
Vayne's trying to get his gentleman's club membership dues collected.
See, hey, Dave, there's something weird because I saw a 15, yet the thing shows a 5.
Yeah. Just as... Man, sorry guys, I'm like really coughing tonight. Just as you go to grab this pouch, one gentleman that's sitting in, well, this gentleman that, you know, has, that's sitting in a chair that you're reaching down to, all of a sudden he has a dagger that he pulls from his side and puts by your hand and says, "I wouldn't do that, friend, if I was you." Yeah, I actually tied your stealth check. That was pretty, and I even gave myself a minus. I wouldn't do that if I was you, my friend. No.
So Dave,
yes.
Is there any like gathering of like what would I would assume if there's some type of pretty girl, then all these type of guys are going to be all like round.
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, there's some round corn feds in there. Definitely some round corn feds missing like a tooth.
No.
There's some beautiful women in there as well.
He's trying to find Phael, I think.
Corn fed is a rather larger woman.